While drifting down a river in a boat headed for a waterfall, Sergei reflects on life and relationships. His thoughts take him back 3 years ago to when it all began. Sergei, an ambitious architect, races through a park clutching a delicate model, already late for a big meeting. He's supposed to meet his best friend Vovka and a potential client who could land them their first real contract. In his rush, Sergei takes a wrong turn and slips, crashing into Marina. His model goes flying. Instantly struck by Marina's beauty, Sergei helps her gather her things. But before he can say anything meaningful, her strict parents appear and scold him for being careless. Rain begins to fall. Vovka calls to remind Sergei there's no time to waste. But Sergei is convinced fate just brought him to Marina, so he tells Vovka to start the meeting without him. Sergei chases after Marina, but security blocks him from entering the competition area. Turns out Marina is a skilled archer competing in the regionals. If she wins today, it's one step closer to the Olympics. Despite the rain, Marina hits her targets with flawless precision. Her opponent is just as good, and soon it's a tie. Meanwhile, Sergei sneaks around, peeking through a hole in the wall. Spotting a large trash can, he climbs up, jumps over the wall, and runs through the bushes to get closer. Just as Marina takes her final shot, Sergei bursts into view, distracting her and accidentally getting shot in the shoulder. She loses the match. Worried, Marina rushes to Sergei, but he's not in pain, he's smiling, talking about a vision of them happily married. Medics arrive, assuring Marina he'll be fine for the wedding. Later, Sergei escapes the hospital to propose. She says yes. Fast forward 3 years, they're married. But it's not perfect. Sergei becomes a workaholic. On their anniversary, Marina prepares a romantic dinner, only to eat alone. Sergei stays at the office, chasing a big project that could make him head architect. When he finally returns with flowers and an apology, Marina's locked herself in the bedroom. He suggests celebrating the next day with her parents. She agrees, but makes him sleep on the couch. The next morning at the gym, Marina overhears a friend talk about her cheating husband, always hiding his phone. This plants seeds of doubt. Later, during the anniversary dinner with her parents, Marina's father tries to read a heartfelt letter. But Sergei's phone keeps ringing. He leaves the table twice. Frustrated, Marina drags him back, reminding him of his promise to stay present. Eventually, her parents give up and leave. That night, Marina confronts Sergei, but he steps out on the balcony for another call. Heartbroken, she grabs a suitcase and leaves for her parents' place. Sergei chases her to the street, begging for a chance to talk. She ignores him and gets on a bus. Desperate, Sergei jumps on from the back and makes an emotional speech for all to hear. How much she means to him, how he wants to fix things. Marina responds with a list of all the times he's chosen work over her. The entire bus sides with her. Trying to win her back, Sergei promises an exotic getaway, no phones, no work. Marina hesitates, but with the bus cheering her on, she says yes. Fireworks erupt in the background. The next day, Sergei tells his boss he's taking a week off. His boss threatens to give the project to another team. Sergei snaps and tears up the paperwork. At home, he finds Marina upset. Her company denied her vacation. Sergei hides his happiness, but when Marina suddenly quits her job, saying family matters more, his smile fades. While Marina packs, Sergei calls Vovka with a scheme. Pretend Sergei is still coming to the office to fool the boss. The couple leaves for their trip, watching a documentary on the plane about island tribes. Women used to eat their husbands if they failed them. Once at the hotel, Sergei gets a call from Vovka. He ignores it until Marina goes to shower. He borrows a waiter's uniform and uses a fake background for a video call, claiming he's still at the lab. When a window opens revealing wild animals, Sergei improvises, calling them part of a new 3D window concept. Surprisingly, the clients love it. As Marina returns, Sergei hides the call and pulls up the weather app to look innocent. She cuddles next to him, unaware the call is still live. They go rent a boat to explore the islands. The staff warns them about a coming storm, but the couple doesn't understand the language and leaves with the employee's radio. They sail happily for hours, ignoring incoming calls. Sergei's finally all in, until the storm hits. Lightning flashes, waves crash. After a wild ride, the sea calms, but they're lost. Sergei spots an island and pretends it was all part of a surprise adventure. He offers to find food while secretly climbing a tree for phone signal. He calls Vovka, who's angry. The office now expects a real 3D window plan, and they've seen the romantic moment Sergei accidentally streamed. Marina, swimming nearby, sees him in the tree and overhears part of the call, Sergei telling Vovka not to let Marina find out or she'll make his life miserable. Suspicious, Marina calls out and Sergei lies, saying he's picking coconuts. That night, they sit by the fire. Sergei even talks about work in his sleep. Marina takes his phone but can't unlock it, another red flag her friend warned her about. The next morning, Sergei panics. The boat and his phone are missing. Marina laughs, reminding him he claimed this was a touristy island and they'd be rescued soon. Later, he finds Marina's hiding spot. She took the boat key. They have a small picnic, and Marina jokes about the island women who ate their husbands for cheating. Sergei nervously eyes the key around her neck. The next morning, Marina wakes up tied up. Sergei has stolen the key and taken the boat, ranting that he's probably unemployed now. But the boat won't go far. Marina had it anchored. It slings back and tosses him into the sea. Now alone, Marina sharpens a knife and crafts a bow. Sergei wanders into a cave filled with creepy remains of past tourists. He exits through what turns out to be the eye of a skull-shaped mountain, then spots signs of nearby natives and runs, terrified. But instead of cannibals, it's Marina, armed with her new bow and aiming straight at him. Just as Sergei thinks all hope is lost, Vovka appears, praising him for solving the entire project. Sergei's surprised, but Vovka brushes it off, saying he always knew Marina was trouble and wanted to ruin everything. Then, a twist, Vovka admits he's just a hallucination, a side effect of the berries Sergei ate. Still talking to his imaginary friend, Sergei dives into the sea. Vovka explains how to retrieve the sunken boat. They tie it with ropes, pull together, and eventually bring it back to the surface. But Sergei doesn't want to leave without Marina. Just then, she appears, firing an arrow that pierces the boat. Vovka vanishes. Sergei hides and begs her to escape with him. She answers with a flaming arrow, setting the boat on fire. Sergei flees again, venting to the island animals. Meanwhile, Marina finds a trap and an old tourist's remains, confirming the island is inhabited. Nearby, two natives are collecting supplies. Sergei uses the moment to steal their canoe and escapes down the river. After hours of paddling, exhausted and desperate, he eats more berries, hoping Vovka will return. But this time, Marina's father shows up, scolding him for how he treated his daughter. From the bushes, a native watches, confused, because he can't see the hallucination. He thinks Sergei's just insane. Marina's dad tells Sergei, "Protect your wife, knock her out if you have to, and take her home." Sergei hesitates, but eventually agrees. He finds Marina, sneaks up, and reluctantly knocks her out with a branch. As he checks on her, Sergei steps into a trap, hoisting him upside down. Marina wakes, unsure whether to help him, until natives arrive. She runs, and Sergei gets taken by the men. The chase is on. Marina dashes through the jungle and finds the native village, hiding in a tent. A native woman, angry with her own neglectful husband, sees Marina, but keeps her secret out of spite. She's charmed by Marina's wedding ring. When the hunters arrive, the woman and Marina are gone. Marina runs, the hunters in pursuit, until Sergei grabs her and pulls her into a cave. But peace doesn't last. Marina attacks, accusing him of cheating. Sergei dodges behind objects while trying to explain himself. She throws whatever she can until she runs out of weapons and switches to fists. The couple brawls. After a wild back and forth, Sergei ends up knocked out cold. Marina panics. She performs CPR, nothing. Desperate, she slams her fists against his chest. Sergei gasps awake. Together, they flee into the forest. Sergei blurts out they should divorce. Marina, hurt, agrees. They start arguing, blaming each other for the lives they could have had. Him as head architect, her as an Olympian. Suddenly they collapse, hit by tranquilizer darts. The natives begin their ritual. Marina is tied to a pyre, Sergei to a boat. Both are forced to drink something awful. As Sergei drifts down the river, he reflects on their story. In that quiet moment, it hits him. Marina had missed her shot on purpose the day they met. Just like he skipped his meeting. They both believed in destiny. With newfound clarity, Sergei spots land and jumps off the boat. Climbing up vines, he sneaks into the village, disguised as a dancer. As the ritual reaches its peak, he finds Marina, but she's frozen, silent. The chief announces the sacrifice. Sergei grabs a spear and threatens the tribe, begging Marina to run. She stays still. So, Sergei pours his heart out. He relives their memories, confesses his love, and promises he finally understands all she gave up. Now, it's his turn to sacrifice. Moved, Marina finally reacts. She cuts her bindings. The natives rush them. The leader lights the pyre. Sergei grabs Marina's trunk, lifts her, and charges for the cliff. They leap into the water below, kissing midair. While floating, the natives hurl spears and arrows. Sergei dodges them as Marina keeps talking, saying she doesn't really want a divorce, but he needs to balance work and love. To shut her up, Sergei dunks her underwater and secretly unties her ropes. Eventually, they reach the shore and find the boat Sergei had stolen. As they prepare to escape, a native attacks. Sergei pushes Marina off in the boat, staying behind to fight. They clash. The native falls unconscious. Sergei collapses but survives. Marina rushes back to him, just as the native woman reappears. She hands back Marina's ring, in exchange for taking her husband's body, so she can finally eat him. Sergei and Marina row away, exhausted but alive. Days later, they return to the city. Marina's parents pick them up. Sergei begins to tell the real story, but backs off when they look horrified, brushing it off as a joke. Suddenly, Vovka shows up. He says he found the perfect project solution in a dream. Strangely, it's exactly like the plan Sergei sketched while hallucinating. The company wants to open a new branch and names Sergei head architect. But seeing Marina's face, Sergei makes a choice. He runs to her and lies, telling her he didn't get the job. She's touched by his sacrifice, though she quickly wonders how they'll pay the mortgage. So that's it. Hope you enjoy the story. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more videos.